pledge love and loyalty to be country salo. My how we there, my how we born. We sweet salo. We not for make this country fall. Mama salo. We let we salo. This we land we love. We not for make and fall.
Sierra Leone is indeed a land rich in natural resources, including diamonds, gold, bauxite, and rutile, along with a vast potential for agriculture and fisheries. However, the shadows of its past, most notably the brutal civil war from 1991 to 2002, continue to haunt the nation. The war, fueled by corruption, economic disparity, and the infamous blood diamond, left deep scars on the social, political, and economic fabric of the country. The politics of grievance, characterized by deep-seated resentment and divisions along ethnic, regional, and partisan lines, remains a dominant force in Sierra Leone's political landscape. These grievances often stem from historical perceived marginalization As a result, political discourse and interactions in Sierra Leone are frequently charged with mistrust and antagonism, impeding efforts to build a unified country. This fractured political climate a continuous cycle of blame and counter-blame between political parties has diverted focus from the critical development of countries. Public institutions struggle with inefficiency and corruption, further eroding citizens' trust in government. Consequently, national unity remains elusive, with regional and ethnic loyalties often taking precedence over a collective national identity. The lack of a cohesive national vision undermines development efforts, as political instability discourages foreign investment and disrupts long-term planning. Social cohesion is also compromised, with communities remaining divided along political and ethnic lines. For Sierra Leone to progress towards true nationhood and sustainable development, it is essential to address these historical breaks, promote inclusive governance, and foster political culture that prioritizes national interests over partisan gain.
Yes, fumble them. Una good evening, good afternoon, good day, wherever una day. Nantemine and the piari sekeno, sopino, ende bondesia, piana kauyena. Today, again with a can look at the deteriorating ethical standards in Sierra Leone. You see, one thing I think we get forget clear as a people. Every country can make as many laws as possible. Some of those laws can be one of the best you can have on paper. Some of those laws may not be the best you can have on paper. But anyhow it be, whichever way, the law can be effective in a country if the country, the one they were there before the country, then get ethical standards, well then they follow. I go repeat that again. A country can get all the laws we want. Then can be the best laws you can find anywhere on earth. Then go be maybe mediocre law, then go be one of the worst laws we can find anywhere on earth. But the law can only become effective if the country in leadership, when I say leadership, I mean everybody, without regard to the political party, without regard to the one the way they in power, and especially so in a democracy, especially in a democracy, if the people in the leadership of a country can get ethical standards whether they respect and maintain, then the laws of the country will be effective. If the people them they go against the ethical standards, or if there is no established ethical standards, then the law will just be words on paper. Now we look at Sierra Leone, and we know they can't discuss partisan issue now. Now look in terms of Sierra Leone, the laws, the compliance with the laws, and how it affects the Sierra Leonean. And now look at the culture of impunity we don't build over the years, because people they know they respect ethical standards. Not only the law they know they respect. They respect the law and abuse it because the law is only used against certain quarters. If they not be respect the laws, they're not going to abuse them that way. They respect the laws and abuse it because ethical standards not they, or if even a day, people then they treat these standards with disregard. This is now one of the crux of we crisis, we governance crisis. This is now one of the crux of we democratization crisis we'll get in Sierra Leone. All man they do I elect. And one thing where we politicians then get for begin understand, and if finally them begin listen to that and try for think over them. A good leader has to be a good follower. I go repeat. A good leader has to be a good follower. What do I mean by this? A good leader, one, he therefore able use empathy for listening to him people them, understand their needs and follow their needs. Because in a team player, then put on there for bring everybody, the good, the bad, the ugly, let them come together, let them able live under one roof. Or we can say, he bring the bowman, he bring a rata, he bring fall, he bring mortal man. Say, la we all day now, like how them be make no in act. Yeah, according to what in and tell we. That's a good leader. You're able to do that if you're not a good follower. If you're not a good follower, you try not for offend the political needs, the social needs, the cultural needs of everybody where they lead. Welcome, Sil. You're right, a servant leader. A good leader, he get for be a follower because now he get for be the example. Then say example is better than precept. Example is better past law, precept, law. If you make law, you're not able to follow the law, then you're not a good leader. Number 3, a good leader, it get for be the person who they make sure say the law uphold himself as law. That is, on no account, for no reason, if it creates conditions when are you they break the law. If you follow the law by the letter. Have we this kind of people in Sierra Leone? If you ask me, I will tell you from 1961 to now. Yes, maybe some way, somehow, certain people have been able to adhere to certain standards here and there. Yes, immediately after independence, we been get certain people with ethical standards and codes of conduct been very high for them, so them be they abide. Maybe sometime in the 70s and 80s, we had a semblance of certain levels of ethics being followed. But here, from the tell way some of we jump in a bush, we say pass we infect before you go better. Now the greatest damage we don't do to society is that we don't create a condition outside nobody, one, no know waiting for do, and now for do am, because that 10 years of nonsense war, it destroy not only the physical infrastructure, it destroy the most important thing where a country get, the psyche of the people. That's the greatest damage Sierra Leone suffered from that stupid war. And the one that will bring that war, God go cost them and cost them generations yet unborn. Because we had no business going to war. Always they say this. There are several routes we can follow to solve problems. Just take your country like you home. Not all tempers infect na use for solve a problem. That's going to be very stupid. If even then do something will hurt you, na your home, would I do unto you, na your own relatives, na your blood, na your DNA? Would you want to see them suffer? No. And Sierra Leone is a place where all of us are relatives. It no matter whether the person are Creole, whether na Limba, whether na Timni, we all get the same DNA. The DNA of Fulani Malinke origin. Yes, we get some mixture. Yoruba, Igbo, all. Yes, all come. Na the one pot. Then they happen all side na the world. But the basic underlying DNA of the Sierra Leonean people, and by extent, people in the Mano River Union and Upper Guinea Coast, na Fulani Malinke. Now make we get common surnames, we get common place names. All over Sierra Leone, every district get a place so they call Sumbuya. Almost of we know that. All over Sierra Leone, you find Kamara, Koroma, Ture, Sise, Tarawally, and all of them may speak different languages, but they are the same people. Who grab, who go to fet, can put in the country, we damage all thing. And now the damage, they multiply cumulatively. Every day you wake, you see something different at Sierra Leone, where they tell you, say, we are not only going down, but we are deep in the abyss of backwardness. And what he make them worse, some people want to shift the blame. Now we all responsible. It no matter whether you Sierra Leone or you wherever, now we all responsible. It's our responsibility to stand up and say, enough of this. And that's what some of us are doing now. Enough of this. A society forgets ethical standards. A society forgets rule of engagement. The laws are one thing. The laws, most times, then they pass them for make sure say, then deter certain things will go cause destruction. But apart from the law, there are ethical standards that need to be established and maintained. There are ethical standards that most of us who pass as educated must respect because we ought to know better. If we say we're educated, we ought to know better and we should do better. It's not about shifting. Now APC do this. Now SLPC, APC, SLPP, now the same people them. Now fumble them. If people get the government, they elect, because the government you elect are people born in your environment, brought up in your environment, have your culture, have your habits, think like you, and do as you do. So let's stop shifting this thing. Go face the bull by the horn. 60 almost years of independence, we have been shifting here and there. Well, I'm not surprised, actually. I'm not surprised because sometime around 1978-79, I did a research on educational psychology where I find out, say, the Sierra Leonean is basically an external locus of control person. You know, they take responsibility, alter or blame. Now which do this, now devil do this, now that do that. What do you do? We don't sit on the Allah. That the Western economies, now they're not the Grillo develop, now Big Brother. But why is it Big Brother did not stop Botswana? A country with so little educated people at the time of independence, just about 22 university graduates and few secondary school leavers. Why didn't they stop them? Is Big Brother afraid of the Botswanans or the Botswana land people, as they were called at that time? I don't think so. We therefore left this dishonesty of purpose. Because this dishonesty of purpose, now we don't begin to become official. Here is the vice president of a country and a clerk of the parliament of that country going against the laws of the country. And you'd have people who think they are doing the right thing. They're not. They are not. The constitution and other laws of Sierra Leone is clear about with partisan engagement, 1. 2, the constitution and other laws of Sierra Leone are clear about we political involvement when we are public servants. And I'll make this point clear because people they like for play with words in Sierra Leone where they don't understand. I worked in Sierra Leone from 1979 up to 1998, and all that time I've been in the public sector. Most of it was spent in the classroom, actually. The codes are the same for every public servant. It no matter if you're not clerk, it no matter if you're not cleaner, it no matter if you're not vice president or whatever. The codes are the same. It no matter whether you're a public servant that has a political appointment or whether you're a public servant that is a recruited career officer or official of the government of Sierra Leone. What do I mean by this? The president, by provision of the constitution, gets certain people the way they appoint to certain offices. These we generally will class as public servants because they are not career officials, they are political appointees. The Public Service Recruiting Commission gets people that they employ. They are not appointed, they are employed. And these people will serve the people of Sierra Leone for as long as they don't go against the codes of ethics of employment and conditions of service of employment. Some man they left university, they employ him na the civil service, he did age 65, he retire. Whatever rank he retire on, it no matter, but he did he retire. Some people they left secondary school, they employ them at the civil service, then they did age 65, then retire. That nurse, na civil servant, na public servant. Doctors working for the government, na public servants. Because all of them, they get salary or conditions based on those prescribed through the Consolidated Revenue Fund. So whether you're a vice president, you're a president, you're a political appointee, you're a minister, you're a clerk of parliament, as long as you are serving the government of Sierra Leone and your wage comes from the Consolidated Fund, you are a public servant by definition. And all the rules applies to you. All of it. You're not, there's no exception. The president of Sierra Leone cannot campaign when it is not time for campaign. This not you, they don't misuse Sierra Leone over the last few years. And it's not only the government in power, all the political players, then they misuse that. Anybody within any political party who not the under government employ, they get right for campaign because you know they under government employ. Now get this point clear. If you're not a private person, you get a political party, you get right for campaign, but there are limitations prescribed by the PPRC and other laws. But you in a public servant, you hold a public office that you were appointed into or that you were employed into, you know, get right for campaign. If you want for campaign, resign from that public office. Resign. That's what the laws say. And not one law say, the Constitution say, the Audit Service Act of 2014 say, I will show now. I will show now all the data. So law begin get this like sink na people laid. And even campaigning, there are restrictions to campaigning by everybody. First and foremost, normal political campaigns cannot take place before the parliament is dissolved. That's the first point we have to know. It's a law in Sierra Leone. But we get functional illiterates, they run we country, you know, they adhere to their law, no ethical standards, nothing. Point number 2. Any time where you go out for campaign, there are rules of engagement outlined in the electoral laws of Sierra Leone. So for everybody where they go now, they make flag bearer. We have to take note of the legal and ethical facts of what they do. We don't see the misuse and abuse of the Constitution too much. 2018, then why elect a speaker, then create confusion, pull some people in a door, they balance their way left, then conduct a vote where the Constitution clearly say, and that's an entrenched clause where you know they change anyhow, you know they interpret anyhow. If you want to change them, you have to follow the procedures and you have to go to a referendum for change them. You see, then pull people in a door and then conduct an election that was illegal. Because the section we talk about having a 2/3 majority vote is clear that it is every member of parliament, not those present in the well of parliament. We don't see the same thing repeating itself. Recently, in the vote against the Auditor General and one of his deputies, we don't see a situation where a public servant will not get any business for do recruitment, recruited his wife, and receive salaries. The best they can do, the woman for pay back the money. Nothing was done. No action was taken. This same servant now sit down in a public office. Conveniently, they declare for run for an elected office. When the laws of Sierra Leone is clear that if you are a public servant, you are run for an elected office, you will resign the office as a public servant. Well, of course, we don't see the All People's Congress members them say they're not going to parliament until that issue is resolved. I ever talk to them. One, they should be steadfast about doing that. Two, it's in their best interest not only to talk about this singular case, but there are several other cases, including the statement made by the vice president recently that his political party is going to rule Sierra Leone for 70 years because of new reason we think. Some of these guys think their fathers owned Sierra Leone, so they inherited Sierra Leone from their fathers, so they could do as how they like. They have to begin to understand that Sierra Leone is the property of 8 million people, if we are 8 million. Because I'm not sure we are up to 8 million. I'm sure we are less than 8 million. Every citizen of that country has the same right as you. And as a matter of fact, because of the Constitution of Sierra Leone, Chapter 2, Section 5A and B, the citizens of Sierra Leone have more rights than you, the Vice President and the President, because sovereignty belongs to the people of Sierra Leone. And your power, your authority, everything is drawn from their mandate. You don't own Sierra Leone, so you guys have to begin to understand that and stop behaving as if you are the gods of the land. You're not. You're employees, servants of the land. You are paid, you're given comfort because the state recognizes the fact that you have a very big task to perform. Stay within that ethical limits. Not only get Salon. Salon belongs to every Sierra Leonean. And from now on, we will begin make that sink inside the cranium of a lot of people. Because it look like the war, which in one of the other things we do, he pull the brain them, he put water inside. We will try to put brain them back inside and eat them. That impunity, let's stop. You don't get for profit nobody. I go do our leg now within our power. We go rule here for 70 years, like how Mexico. No, it's not possible. The time it happened in Mexico, there was no internet, there was no technology. Today I can see and hear you in your bedroom, mister. If I want to, if you're a person of interest. So stop going all over the place, flip-flopping with your mouth. Public person, a leader, for able to keep him out quiet, know what they talk and when they talk. As a matter of fact, if in a sober country you say that statement, actions would have been taken against you. Serious actions. And at this, I want the APC members of parliament for begin look at, because parliament is the sole oversight body of the Republic. Do your homework. If you've started it, don't go halfway. Do it fully. Now, let me read to you what I'm sharing. The Vice President of the Republic of Sierra Leone is not a party spokesman, but a constitutional officer mandated to serve the entire nation under the rule of law and democratic principles. Upon assuming office, the Vice President swore the oath of office as prescribed in the third schedule of the 1991 Constitution, solemnly pledging to preserve, support, uphold, and defend the Constitution of Sierra Leone, and do right to all manner of people without fear or favor, affection, or ill will. This oath imposes a binding obligation on political neutrality, integrity, and fairness in all public conduct. It requires the Vice President to serve all Sierra Leoneans equally, regardless of political affiliation, and to safeguard the dignity and impartiality of public office. As a public officer for the entire Republic, the Vice President is constitutionally bound to act above partisan interests and refrain from using his high office to influence or promote political campaigns, especially outside the legally designated elections period. Therefore, the recent declaration by Vice President Mohamed Jalloh that the Sierra Leone People's Party will govern for 70 years constitutes a serious violation of his constitutional responsibilities. This statement constitutes breach in his oath of office by displaying overt partisan bias. 2, contravenes the Public Elections Act, which prohibits campaign before the lawful commencement of election period, and undermines the sovereignty of the people as articulated in Section 1(2) of the Constitution, which affirms that sovereignty belongs to the people of Sierra Leone, from whom government through this Constitution derives all its power, authority, and legitimacy. Such conduct, if left unaddressed, shall set a dangerous precedent for executive overreach, political impunity, and democratic backsliding. It is therefore imperative that Parliament, the Electoral Commission of Sierra Leone, civil societies, and constitutional oversight bodies respond firmly and lawfully to this violation. The impartiality, accountability, and integrity of public office must always be preserved to ensure the continued growth of constitutional democracy and the provision of the citizens' right. These are just legal summaries of the instruments that were broken down or violated. We therefore begin do them things here, not because we want to attack anybody. As a public servant, you are there to abide by the rules. Now, I can begin to say, a good leader has to be a good follower. If you want to lead, follow the rules of leading, follow the codes of ethics of ruling, follow the rules of engagement. Then you are a good leader. But if you don't make the law by the day for suit your own wishes, then you dey mislead the society and you dey create room for future problem. And I'm very sure, if we go back and read the recommendations of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, these violations were stated there. Because Sierra Leone, we're not a land, we're not a land. We keep repeating the same thing. As if to say, I don't know, maybe a machine been do some research. Maybe a machine na psychologist do some research. We they keep repeating the same thing as if na coconut then we eat. Even coconut, they transform from jelly to coconut. We until today the jelly from 1961. The time don't reach, we for put aside some of them sentiments would they keep we adrift. The time don't reach, we for put aside some of them sentiments would they divide we. Everybody get right. Juldeh, you are part of us. You have a right to be what you want to be. You have a right to support what you want to support. But you don't have the right to break the ethical standards of Sierra Leone. You don't. You don't own Sierra Leone. Even the man we own a company. Now they can say, now business with they run a company. Even the man we own the company, it will be in the best interest for abide by the rules and the standards we don't create in a company. Otherwise, it is sabotaging himself. It is sabotaging himself. You know, I don't know. I don't ever ask this question because most times I may not want to be personal. But do some of you guys really have children? Because if you not been get picking them for the members, see what they do so, it get for affect me picking them. If you not get picking them, do you care about the welfare of your children? You think so now for pull money give you picking not caring about the welfare? That's how I feel. I feel say that for thief public property, bill baby goes for una picking there. Now care for the welfare. Haven't we seen enough in Sierra Leone? You don't see people them at the time of their heydays, everything was bright and beautiful. Then suddenly like that, all things disappear. Can't we learn? Can't we understand that it is better for us to be together than for us to be divided? Don't we see that Sierra Leone has so much potentials, but none of it is reaching the people of Sierra Leone? Instead, the foreigners, they enjoy with potentials. Even like the Caswona don't can keep so. We don't really understand what they make drug dealers than like Sierra Leone. We don't understand because we're not functional illiterates. We not the claim say we're not sabi, but we're not sabi nothing. If you see drug dealers get attracted to Sierra Leone, it's because of the geographical location of that country. We locate almost at the center of the southern hemisphere of the Atlantic region. You can reach any of the major cities in the Atlantic region by air within 8 hours. You can reach any of the major cities by sea within 16 days. Then we have the only natural harbor in Africa and the only natural harbor south of the northern hemisphere, the Atlantic region. That's a big potential for us. A potential we can galvanize into a multi-billion potential. That's what the Arabs did in Dubai. In the 70s, Dubai was a fishing port. And galvanized their potential. Look at today. All man, they all are Dubai, Dubai. Sierra Leone can be better than Dubai. Sierra Leone can be the biggest export processing country in the Atlantic region. But instead of we pay attention to that, we dey pay attention to noshi, pettiness. We dey destroy we self, we call them politics. It's time we move away from that. We all get right for being members of any political party we want for be. We all get right for join any political movement we want for join. But we not get right for use the institutions there for destroy we country. We not get that right there. And if you think, say, because they elect you, you can do a elect, no say they create room for crisis. When the APC been put by force, say them for their power, we saw the result. There was a war which was not necessary. Do we want a repeat of that? Because in this life, one thing life don't teach me is that living life is a choice. Everything we make is a choice. Everything we do is a choice. And when you make your choices, you have to be prepared for the consequences. That's why, if you understand some of these basic things, when things go wrong, you will not sit there brooding and blaming. You would ask yourself, where did I go wrong? How did I go wrong? If not for anything, let you learn from that so it not go happen again. But there is a country where everybody feels say, muscle might, na power. Power is not muscles. I get a book titled Force versus Power, written by one of the best social psychologists on earth, David Hawkins, Dr. David Hawkins. When he talk about political power against use of force, it come out with two examples, Mahatma Gandhi and Adolf Hitler. It was clear that Mahatma Gandhi, a frail man born in South Africa, studied law in South Africa, but migrated to India because he was Indian, got control over his people. He got their emotions to be attached to him, and he directed the people to seek for and ask for independence without using force. Even though the British they use force against them, they beat them and they jail them, Gandhi kept quiet. He said, "Allow they go no more." Finally, the whole empire, the British Empire, had to cave in, and they gave him his wish. That's power. Power is not the use of force. Power is a kind of energy that brings or attracts people towards you. And when once people then come, then collect, una they use that energy for make change happen. Now in the collectivity of power. That's why we lost them. They always try for talk about allowing collective participation. It no matter the status of the person, it no matter in talent or whatever. Allow collective participation because everybody has something to offer. Some of you read the poem Desiderata say, even the dull and stupid have their story. Go placidly and listen to every voice. But today, we have people who think their egos own the country. On our left, Sierra Leone belongs to 8 million people, if we are 8 million. And everybody get equal rights in that country. Nobody no get right for pull una self no get right for intimidate nobody. Don't try begin behave like we civilized. Don't try begin behave like we decent. How they pass all over the world, they lie per we say our country was once Athens of West Africa. Today, we are worse than the baboons of Africa. A word where Donald Trump talk about Africa applies to Sierra Leone right now. It's a shame. It's a shame for a country that should have made progress for can reach now this level where it is. It's a shame. I don't pass the clean image. Now we don't get dirty. Then they block whip and visa. But not to that we they talk now today. Today Lord talk about and the feel say and then Papa die left salon give them. Juldeh and Paran. Paran, you great grandpa have been warrior at Ture. His name na Paran Tarawally. Na him bring una na ya the konos. Bring una because he was the one who expanded the Mali Empire on behalf of Sunjata Keita. When he entered the forested region, he went north. He left certain set of people say, El Makono, wait for me here. Wait for me here. He went north, and the north, the Senegambia region, he was faced with a lot of other things. He had to establish certain governance systems. Then he not be able to come back. He gets old and die. I make when you look West Africa, the Upper Guinea coast, you they meet the Tourists them all over Upper Guinea coast. You they meet them in Mali. You they meet them in Chad. There they call them Traoré. Your great-great-grandpa, when they started the Mali Empire, the first thing we then come up with the fair play. The Mali Empire was the first empire on earth to establish a human rights framework. That framework, they like today, then they call them, say, now one of UNESCO heritage. Then I go tell you, say, now African greatness, then say, UNESCO heritage. That framework is called the Kurukan Faba. Kurukan Faba. It was the constitution of Mali Empire that clearly outlined ethical standards, human rights, etc. And they make provision for all status in society. The Nyamakala, the leaders, etc., etc. Some of una think say una sabi, but you are misguided souls, misguided by a type of education that you don't understand. I make you grab the go take banana PhD. The lie by yourself say educated. I'm talking to you directly, Paran Tarawally. You don't own Sierra Leone. You don't do a number of things. But because you get certain people then behind you, and they mislead you, you feel say you own Sierra Leone. So they take you F, in America, they take government money, they give them. When I make bargain, when I go na mother being yours, when they go like want Paran. Now blindfold and they blindfold you. Then the car we get for regret all of this. Then the car you get for regret them. Not a person get for do by you. Now yourself, because there is a time and a reason for everything happening under the sun. Nothing lasts forever. And you are a young man. Nothing lasts forever, Paran. You are a young man. Pray God, let time not catch up with you. When time catch up with you, You'll sit in your quiet moments and remember these words I'm saying to you. If you want to be Secretary General of the SLPP, resign as Clerk of Parliament. Don't be Clerk of Parliament. The talk you want to be. You cannot be a public servant. Then you run for an elected office. That's against the laws of Sierra Leone. It's against the Public Elections Act of 2022. Now, on a passande, you were there. Where Section 153 say the dissolution of Parliament. Now, after that, sorry, people then for begin campaign. There is a timetable set by the PPRC for una parties and elections. You either wait until that time comes, you resign your post and go fight to be elected, or resign now, go sit down, they campaign all over the country, let them make you SLPP Secretary General. As a matter of fact, let me tell you, if the political systems in Sierra Leone were properly organized, if you ask me, I'll go for that office rather than being Clerk of Parliament. Because if the political parties are well organized and for able get a system where they generate enough income, then you get a comfortable wage. More comfortable than you can get as a Clerk of Parliament. But when una sit down, una no organize nothing. Until una wait for Allah, if boss. Una no go sit down for set the mechanics of una political parties them. At the end where election come, we go there, we will spend money, we will do this. And that's why you are all thieves in that country. Because you spend money you don't have. The political party supposed for able to run itself, especially these two major parties that we have in Sierra Leone. Then there's so much members or potential supporters that if they are organized and properly structured, each political party capable for raise over $5 million every month. Yes, I can prove that. Not how they discuss about today. I can prove that. And if each political party is raising that amount of money, they should be able to pay their executive officers and those running their offices properly at all levels. So the choice is yours, Paran. Leave that office or go back and say it was a slip of tongue. Be the man to accept when you're wrong. Say it was a slip of tongue and ask to continue in the office of clerk. But if you make babati, I tell you, Constitution of Sierra Leone give every citizen the right. We will come out with a legal thing against you. Yes. You know, we want correct Sierra Leone, so therefore begin use certain strategies for make people that know say they cannot do as they like and go scot-free. The citizens have the right to take an injunction against you from the High Courts. If the High Court throw out, other courts send they will go, where the government of Sierra Leone will get trouble. We don't want to war another country again. But to therefore begin make some of una know say, this is acceptable, this is not acceptable. You cannot be flouting the laws as if, even if now you get the place, you know what they do how you like. One day, what you they do so, go come against you, say, for the do am. Now this one I get for understand. One day, most of them think say, oh, now they do so get for come against you now. When that time reach, what you now go and expect from the people? Sympathy? No. No, nobody is going to give you sympathy when you don't create all the trouble for yourself. If you see what they talk, now because of that. But you don't have the right to be in a public office and declare that you want to contest an elected office because you are paid from the consolidated fund. And under section 111 of the Constitution, your wages disqualifies you from being a public servant and somebody running for an elected office. The same applies to what is stated in the Audit Service Act of 2014. We bind you for being non-partisan. You see, public declaration, it don't breach civil service regulations. We require you for resign or left your office before engaging in political activity. It violates section 13 of the Constitution, which calls on citizens to prevent misuse of public resources, because if you then a public office, you want to run for election, that automatically means or implies that you're going to misuse public resources. For example, some of una, they go all over the place with public vehicle, public money. They go and make say, now we are the big man, now get here. That violates section 13 of the Constitution. And it does not only apply to you, Paran, it applies to everybody when they do that. We have to stop that. They'll begin to take Sierra Leone serious. Go you patrol weekend with state motorcar. No, it's against the rule. It's a violation of that section of the Constitution. Because your motorcar, once na government motorcar, na public resource. A public resource. Na misuse and abuse of public resource. That. You taking up of a partisan office automatically don't compromise your role as clerk of parliament, because it don't compromise your neutrality. The clerk of parliament is there to serve every political party that is in parliament. Even those out of parliament, if they want audience with you as clerk of parliament, you have to give them audience. You have to listen to what they have to say. Because na Sierra Leone feel say, pass through that they elect, now no more for talk. Who's they talk from? So we get 24 political parties. There are some political parties that don't have a seat in the stoting. The parliament, now they call stoting. Store, big thing court. The big court, stoting. Then they look at the parliament as a court to side and they go sit down like, oh, say barre. To side and they go sit down for decide. Then get parties they will not get seat today. But any of them political parties here, then can go to parliament, then ask for the audience, the president of the parliament, the clerk of the parliament, they sit down with them, then discuss. Because every party, whether in elected office or not, has a right to take part in the formulation of state policy and to ensure the security and well-being of the state. If they get anything, like we free turn they so, then dirty they all over the place. A political party will not get seat in the parliament, can get right for go to parliament and say, Paran, can sit all out talk. Bring the speaker. We want for discuss this. We not try for push this thing in the parliament. Law make sure say we clean the parliament. The city, I mean. Not only through a private member's bill, then things then they for happen. But as I say, we claim to be educated in Sierra Leone. But honestly, education is not there. learn something. A lot of things there where the Sierra Leone are not know. Now only reason this will make una able to sit down and keep comping and say, Lord, make care for we all. The mentality we'll get is everything is by fate, by force. No, bro, something and they will not go sit down. Okay, we'll get 10 of this thing. Now with 20, they all go do. Each man, una they take 2 people, take 1, una share am equal, all man get. Yes. And una do am in fairness and within ethical limits. Tomorrow, if una get 20, now una 20 day, all man get 1. Then everybody will be happy. And what thing for be the result? Everybody in that group go like for go work, let more come. But who say una get 20, now one person they see don't eat all thing, the other people and they fall land. Of course, they're not even get the energy for go work because they're hungry. Una low try change now. Low try begin look at other ways for make we country. Please. Low try begin find decent ways for sit down and do what thing we need for do so we country go develop. Development not to house and car and this. Now standard of livings. 1, 2, now the ability of the people to live together without suspicion, without hate. Now they bring development. And we try. We able to do them. Not to say we're not able to do them, we're able to do them. But we need for pull certain things out of the way. What you people and they call munafiki. Munafiki. Una go find the meaning of that word. It's a Madingo word that is linked to Islamic something. We need to get rid of some of them things here. If we really want to make we country go before. I go take a short break. I go come back.
Suffer long. Green hill them rise palm this way, but belly dry now the mango tree. Big man they chop, we they survive. Them sell we dream, we the strive. Who side the money, land so blessed. Riches they not grown, but we no get rest. We hand them empty, we voice them sore. Tell me why, oh tell me why we poor. Blood na the ground war we don't know. Hand tight, see them no grow. Word them fade like evening sun. Youth they run, but hope now they come. Bridge them broke, water wide. Dream them drown deep, now the tide. Who side the money, land so blessed. Riches then are grown, but we no get rest. We hand them empty, we voice them so. Tell me why, oh tell me why we poor. Diamond to shine, but bells still dry. Gold they glitter, but it no get fire. Big man talk sweet, but poison they. Song for freedom, we know they hear they. Who side the money, land so blessed. Riches they not grow. nor die, we still they try. Rich land, empty hand, we they endure. Wait for answer, heart them pure. Picking a night, reflect the sky. Hope nor die, we still the try. Rich land, empty hand, we dey endure. Wait for answer, heart them pure.
Okay, we don't come to the second segment. Paran and Juldeh and Tuna Yerotiase. Na trailer na baby na chef na brother them. The brother, you know they hate him, but they correct him when he wrong. And I trailer na baby na chef. I told na papa them that I left salon you now. Now we all papa them. So they'll begin to caution. Now when they come to the other thing. Question is 64 years after independence, we still the struggle with electricity. We still the struggle with water supply. Both of them things here, they under the same category. Geologically, Sierra Leone has a potential we go allow we for generate enough power and for export power. Geologically, Sierra Leone has a potential for make we use water, clean water. Every house get pipe water. Even to the last village, they'll get pipe water. Geologically, Sierra Leone has a potential for make we get maybe 4 or 5 dams. We're not for hydroelectricity, but for water supply, so that we're able to do irrigation and other things for develop agriculture. Mentally, we have nothing. Mentally, we have nothing in Sierra Leone. You see, one point where I want to make we get clear is still what they call poverty. Not to any supernatural phenomenon, not to any supernatural force they cause poverty. Poverty na a state of we mind. They reflect how we they think. How they think, now that they make we poor. How they think, now that will make we rich. How they think, now that will make we comfortable. The choice is ours to make. Maybe most of we could not have been rich by now because of certain choices we'll make. Maybe we were misled into believing certain things we make sometime we not turn like them than go to etc. But not to any special luck or waiting they make person reach that level. Now, a mental situation. You don't decide, say, I want to be this. I'll be this. You plan, you work towards them. In some cases, the culture we come up from, the influence your ability for think that way. And I'm sure if we go back and look at Aliko Dangote in background, that influence him for beauty, for Bishop. They come up from a trading family. Them be in papa and grandpa them be the export granite. So it came from a tradition whose business a part of the thinking. In Sierra Leone, poverty is abound, corruption is abound, because most of us were brought up to think only of that rudimentary linear growth and existence. I don't born, I go school, I go university, I get job, life is beautiful. And of course, some people may have very good jobs that will give them a comfortable life, but it may not make them rich. Others may have jobs, like for example, if you're a consultant, you do contracts, it can make your life very much comfortable. You're there in certain professions where you work mostly on contracts, it can make your life very much comfortable. But poverty and wealth, by and large, is created by the way we think. And I think so one of the weaknesses of we society, where they reflect in with development, is that now that linear thinking we get. School, university, get job, relax. They got the responsibility for do this, responsibility for do that, not on me own. If they give me instruction, I go do them. So we not even get the initiative for sit down and say, let us do this. Honestly, the potentials we say they don't get for generate electricity. And especially so now that we get this sub-regional arrangement, what they call the West African Power Pool. If we're able to generate electricity in Sierra Leone, for electrify the whole of Sierra Leone to the least village, then we're able to sell some of the power. We have engineers in Sierra Leone who, because they don't put their mentality in that linear thinking, they are not thinking of how can we come together to develop this, develop that, influence policy here and there, so this can be done. No. It's government that should be flying. Now we get aboard where they fly. Every day they in the air. They go clean image, they go bigger, bigger. And that way they would think so for able to develop. If that's the path we're going to follow, it will take us the next 500 years. Honestly. Because by the time they get somebody for give fund, whatever else you don't get fund for, don't they damage. In the 70s, they built all the good roads in Sierra Leone. In the 70s, they built a bridge to Liberia, the Mano River Bridge. We had good roads going to Guinea. We had electricity in every town. But because these arrangements were not ones of self-generation of wealth, because these arrangements never had a sustainability plan, they like today, we don't come to square one. And now, we take the pathway if we're not careful and get for destroy we. The path of going solar. Let me say this today. Solar is not the solution to Sierra Leone's power issue. It is not. It's a political gimmick. It's a scam. We get the potential for generate clean energy from hydroelectricity. And we don't need for build big dams like Bumbuna. In fact, in most cases, we don't even need to build dams. We only need to get a proper environment that is well structured so that the hydrological ecosystem they function. Then the rivers where they flow, We can make canals by them. We generate electricity. There is that technology. You make canal by the river. You give a certain gradient. Let the water flow fast. It turn the turbine. It generates electricity. The water flow back come into the river. So we get limitless potential if we take care of our environment. If we not cut down all the trees, we not destroy the hydrological cycle, we get limitless potentials. We can generate between 2,500 to 5,000 megawatts of power in Sierra Leone. And as at now, the country's need is below 2,000. From we get independence, we never see them create a national grid where we connect electricity poles and wire all over the country. Are we really serious in Sierra Leone, if I may ask? If we are serious, why are we not doing all of this? And I will give you the answer. The dependency mentality. One, the political class feels it is best to depend on foreigners to come and do it, because that way it keeps them safe. They go all over the place praising their ego. I don't do this, I don't do. You have not done anything. I left for the lie to yourself. I left for the lie to yourself. From 1961, Sierra Leone will do nothing for himself. And Mama thank him out. I don't do this. You have not done it. It's not your right to be a beggar, especially in a place with so much resources. It's not your right to be a beggar in a place with so much potentials. So on the left for they say, I don't do this, I don't do that. This government do this, that government. No government never do nothing in that country. And Mama think my business with the power. They wait for the one the owner they call development partners. If these were development partners, Sierra Leone would have been better developed. You know, go turn so. Now we try to get serious in Sierra Leone. We have a lot of money has been put into research in Sierra Leone on the power potentials. From 2005 to 2014, I'm sure 3 research were done. We come out with the potentials. What do we need for do now for upgrade the research then they look at latest technologies and see how we can use them technologies then they for begin generate electricity stage by stage. We cannot do it all overnight. We cannot, it's not possible. But we can stage by stage. We say, okay, this year, let us build 1 mini dam. We go give we 20, 30 megawatts. Now build them in each region. There is a local way we can do it. We don't need for they go buy with man everything. We get people in Sierra Leone we sabi repair a lot of things them we connected with alternators. We get welders, we get masoners, we get engineers. Get these people together. Let them come and work together. China developed that way. But we all tell they wait for development partners. Now then they can shove solar down with road. Then solar, then the owner, they go and scatter all over the country. Now danger for the people then. Because once those cells and batteries expire, then they become toxic. What is really wrong with us in Sierra Leone, especially those of us claiming to be educated? Are we thinking? We get all the potentials for generate electricity by hydro means. We get all the potentials for generate electricity even in the ocean with wind power. We don't need for go buy the technology in Denmark or wherever. Get the blueprint, get the design, get people within the country, let them design them that local way. Will be small. Will be they make experiment with them bicycle alternators them. Where them be they put pan the tire, where they turn, they create electricity. Will be they do that experiment, they would make the alternator, will they turn them, they'll put bulb in the light. That's a simple way to begin. Get this rewinding people, how they rewind motor car alternators, get a good engineer, look at the specifications, see what thing for do, when I begin build them down there locally. 50 megawatts here, 10 yonder, this yonder, gradually within a decade, we don't get enough power supply, and from what you they make us profit because the power is going to be put in a grid and sold. What will they make us profit? We can use them for modernize. Can't we begin to think in Sierra Leone? What is wrong with us? What in God give aid for? Well, can't she don't they talk Torata or say Usabi book? Una me family, but most of una disappointment. Yes, Pafode.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
How you do, sir?
Tell God thank you to that course now. Fambulu antenna for the cost, but not for fact.
Mm, well, I wish you didn't listen to
Then they
this kind
listen.
of
They
statement
must listen. They must
somehow.
listen.
Mm.
Go ahead, sir.
So, first of all, at the last 2 points, the way you talk of Aliku Dangote, that's what they call her.
Aliko.
That's what they call her, ba.
Yeah,
And I
no,
mean,
they name
I know,
that.
I know that Dangote. I don't know the other name.
Na Dangote.
They
Aliko
say
Dangote.
if you talking story, say my uncle na get money for to start business. He
Na
be
in
explain that
grandpa.
story.
Na in grandpa.
No, but me talk. Yes, I talk to your uncle, ba.
Okay.
Yes,
But
I
anyway,
read that
come up
story.
from a family where now
Mm-hmm.
them be they do that granite business. They be they export granite. They be they build the granite like pyramid. I remember where they go school will be they see them picture then they Kano,
Mm.
Kaduna. They be they export granite plenty.
Yeah, he been talk say he be explain the story a few years ago
Mm-hmm.
about your uncle we get money. He be explain the story anyway. About a few not a long time ago. He do explain the story. He owns business we start. And from your uncle get money. You know, see this family take one of they say not he been no more, but not they broke. And your uncle ain't get money. Well, and the other one he talk say about the solar. You know, say the solar, despite the environmental the danger, solar, if it good for power, if not good source of power, then European they not go spend money power that so they go just use them. But because solar not get industrial power, uh,
They're not the user.
uh, yes, so not for industrial power. And for just like
Ah,
me as alone, look what they go put in one area. They say 1 megawatt for family, then for use. And that 1 megawatt na small na area. I mean things they no more they don't consume because we know they use plenty electricity.
and the other thing is when you begin then kind process then they, how do you expand it when there is population growth?
Well, like, because first of all, we just want make light for make the bulb them light.
Yeah, now for me then
All
go and say we don't do this, we don't do this. They
yes,
are not doing
all
anything, these
all
guys.
the all of these things where you see so not to say that they make a move.
But
Now
I know
we
the whole
where
thing.
We don't know them come, they can't give them something, they allow.
That solar,
Look,
where they see so. You know, start? You know, that project they start?
I be hearing
Now
about that
2014, 2015.
Yeah, I be hearing about that program day. Let me say, we don't know full way or on foot way. I be hearing about that program day. We don't talk about say they woman in India will not be wear shoes.
Then I then girl from Koya, Asabi, most
Yes.
of them girl and then
Yes.
I go say na me age mate then Tina Songo me do primary school.
Yeah.
Then girl and they would me send na India. I know most
Yes.
of them.
Yes,
Where
that
them
be
they call within. Let me get the name that Koya solar business we don't die.
Yes, I be that thing that I first said about that program. The other thing about you talk about this the electricity needs of the country. Talk about 2,000. We need less than 2,000.
Yes.
Where you talk say we'll be able to
Yes.
generate 2,500 megawatts.
Up to 5,000.
I just tell you say. Well, until you use a term their way in terms of academic, you say below. Well, the below we want to put now, Mr. Jalloh, we don't even need 500 megawatts of electricity for now. Because first of all, we don't get industry, we need them. If make an now waste the waste capacity for sell them 500 megawatts right now, you don't need them. But the one who get right now, it could be between 100 and 120 megawatts now we get at the country. I just the outlining thing that I mean, we say you hang them in a very high something.
That's the
Ethiopia.
potential we have. I'm telling you, we have
Ethiopia
the potential between 2,500 to 5,000 for generate. And that not include other sources like biomass.
Yeah.
Biomass is one technology. If we introduce into Sierra Leone, biomass power generation, what you then call waste to power.
Yeah,
if we introduce them in Sierra Leone, one of the advantages where they give we, it help we for clean the country.
Yes. Now I'd actually do. You remember I say back, the mayor several times we don't have that proposal, they made them help him, but they never help him for
that's
them.
another thing. That's another thing where I believe so for try change in Sierra Leone.
And
the government should not be responsible for things like electricity. The government should be responsible for the policies. Let them open up, let private people then come and generate electricity. Then make sure say they regulate the price. Let nobody not just put price high elect. You understand? This is how it operates in Europe. Norway get a lot of mini hydroelectric dams them when a private people then build them. Whether they put 50 megawatts, whether they put 10 megawatts, they put them in the grid. Then form companies. Then companies, then we get over 20 companies now they supply, where they generate electricities. Then they put them, then get a national office, where they call BKK, B Coco. That now like how get EDSA. You understand? That national company there, now then they in charge of distribution of power. Now then they in charge of the networks.
In Belgium they call it intercommunal.
Yes.
In England they call them waiting the names I don't forget that.
Then get them. So everybody they generate your own electricity, it put them.
Off game, that's what they call it.
You understand? Everybody they generate your own power, put them at the grid.
Yeah.
If they supply a particular company, when that company don't sell, then they pay you for what you put. That's an easy way. People then they, if they're ready, people then they, we go, then build them things. Say all you need for to get the policy, get the environmental requirements, etc., etc. Say this is how you should do. If they can't build dam, where you cut thick there, if you plant thick yonder, if you resettle people so, if you take care of the ecosystem so, when that is done, you go see a lot of power at the country. But if they say na government for supply electricity, we go depend until thy kingdom come, yeah?
Yeah, but let me tell you why they are all against Mr. Jalloh, as my own thinking.
Mm.
As long as governments now then one say when I would do this, now would do this. Now the problem all the
Now
come out.
then the other
Nine,
thing is, not only for saying now we do this, the other thing is, some of them are afraid that if they open up, private people then go generate them power they will become so wealthy and powerful that then will be useless. Now their ego, now and then they take mislead we country. Now their ego. If me and you come out, they say, Lord, go invest by electricity, they not agree. That boy Jalloh now they can't take money now, take power. Then they see get power, they can't take all we see get money, they can't take power. And maybe boy Jalloh not interested in power.
well, them this me this because me I say I'm not alone.
Mm-hmm.
Now because they are so limited in action. That means this
Are you sure?
yes, that means the slightest something we can pass. They want grab and say, oh,
Naive,
and I go.
what if the money?
Mm.
I make a deal. The one where you say the limit, you not say the limited in action.
That's what they look like. Because you know, understand it. Today I listen to some. You know, say that the economic figure they interest me. Then say on the budget, government they spend. Then say 2018 and 2019 they spend 0.7% of the budget in local councils. Can you imagine that?
Now the one then they forget the greater share.
Yes, I forget the money.
I don't forget the money
0.7.
because that's decentralization. Give them the
Yes.
money, monitor them, sorry, and make sure they do what has to be done properly.
The councils the way responsible for channel development. Now they go give 0.7%.
The outside the other money they go.
They pay salaries.
Then when I not stop that, when I grab back, they go create new administrative problem. So now they
And
create districts.
before I not forget the point that we mentioned today, the vice president's statement. Mr. Jalloh, me, I don't want to let you take any politician they want in a power forever.
Yeah, but he doesn't have a right to say that.
APC just have been talking they say they will rule forever. But not,
Bavode.
yeah.
Bavode. Some food already less alone change before they die go. They not mean say because APC be they do and then for continue for do. Let's stop now.
I'm not give you know give me point. I not talk say because APC talk out do I just want to talk say it doesn't matter what the politicians say. The only thing we will put them in a power now we organize clean election.
You sure?
No, yeah, I see that way.
You sure? This last one, I come
no,
out.
I know, like now they say, I say if they organize clean election, I mean, so APC have been talking today, they would did it. But when they organize election where almost clean, you see, say then come on a power. So you know matter the utterance.
Well, then why are not ready for common power?
No, well, like so the APC don't begin this action. I wish because now they would all regret and say, because in Sierra Leone Parliament make the wrong things and they happen. Left them they made them sit down there, they also so made them do bad things and they. If you watch those on side, open and do bad thing, broke the law, you should don't do no more.
But this is what we've been telling APC from day one, say we're not going to Parliament.
They're not talking about going there. Even if they don't go there, where somebody want out the wrong thing, like when they count dollar rankings, now come on, somebody don't count outline now how you make election. You know, so you not get the number that day. Why you sit on there?
Just come on there.
Come on there, left and they make doing things we want to do. Now when you sit on there, you not do them, they make say, oh, vote APC, yay, nay, you mix in the count. But you see now, you know the result already.
You
Then
know,
the
the
waste
other
one.
thing we'll get for make APC understand, they can take decisions to stay off governance if they organize their front. The APC, they're one of the biggest political parties in Sierra Leone. They get a lot of sympathizers and supporters all over the world, including inside Sierra Leone. Now we say APC get 4 million people. Okay? Let's just assume that 4 million people will potentially they support APC. If when they take then decisions here where they're in the interest of the country, then say, okay, we know they do this until this happen. Then 4 million people, then let's say 2 million of them decide, say, okay, we they give $1 every month to APC until this thing settled itself. Now $2 million then they make every month. That money they
Yeah.
able to do for take care of all their needs.
Yeah. The thing is that even the last time when they not popularized that idea. Even people who don't belong to the APC, then they give them money.
Yes,
Because
that's what
people
I'm
the way
saying
they
implicitly.
good governance advocate and we want to see the right thing be done.
Exactly.
So even me when they talk now, I know when they didn't talk today after the nomination election this year, I get 10
It
euros.
would not say the intention good. There is everything good. So God will go mobilize people them. Sometimes they go they make $10-15 million every month. Sometimes what them they pay in a parliament so they double.
Yeah, so you know who
say
talks
see them no more. God see that
no,
they can't fit you.
Yes, because Salon Norwich is state now we be say.
And then peaceful means for take correct a country.
You talk this no, say let them care go somebody in a court. I don't know you know that he be
I say Juldeh, if we talk again, they take injunction against me.
Exactly.
Me, not all a person of me. Now me a full of brother of the fat.
If
And they take injunction against her, let me begin know that.
then just the classic, you know, to fool a man, fetch against your brother.
Business. My business. Me no say if a man get right in a salon, now because of Jalloh Jamboria family. Which can Stephen be want take advantage pan Fula man. Now we go meet him, we ask some question. So no. So now they go no more left than they.
You know, I did talk say that case they if they care I'm gonna court, so they next court that case they na so salon court they.
Well then they don't give a right for take and go no other court.
Any case where you can go yonder. We look so recently I don't care go the case na court for let them interpret between that public order act if not permission the IG for give or if then just go inform because na so they write up and the law say na for go inform. That case the TTD don't pass how many years from 1 year and I don't pass 7 years.
Well, no wait no more.
Case
not they die.
Yeah, but not time that generation in the go Mr. Jalloh.
But the case not they die.
You know they die, but
everything gets in time.
You know they die, but the essence of the case it elapse. If you go take them kind of case, then they take the people and go tell policeman say one go protest, they say ID for corona and I go talk, wanna talk, for take. You don't meet any China in the world where somebody where they go make a protest and then say for cancer anything will happen, I take responsibility. You don't see them not the world.
Never see them.
So if you go sign say if you so that means if they kill somebody, say I didn't go. No, only saloon.
Now we after the elections, we will be safe for protest now at the parliament. All we did was to write a letter to the police, so they go out so they would then say, all right, we'll now show the streets they will not get for use, so that we will provide traffic regulation and other things. That's all.
Now the same law in a saloon.
I know. I'm not to say I don't know. I know.
Now the same law in a saloon.
Now the same law. But yonder, we they make and say the one they would in a power now, then papa na cousin to God, so then for do how they like. Now that's what they talk say for done now. If we stop.
Yes. Mr. Jalloh, the biggest way that thing go down, we begin for done. Now we parliament the function.
Well, now I
Because I
don't
always
begin
talk am say.
so. Now I make
I
a
always
talk
talk.
to the APC. Say, una get for make sure say una steadfast so. Una steadfast
Ah,
by what you una don't begin so. You
because
know
this year I
understand?
wouldn't do so. Now for Lara first and for don't do am back. Eh? That is more important than Paran. Paran now somebody where everybody knows in the SLPP. Yes, for go take a position, but we know say nothing not the way they do not to the interest of the SLPP. But Lara now first we do go doing work. You doing work and go sack am for that. We doing work. Ah, I don't know.
Well,
The
it and
person
even APC, I blame them for that. You know that I don't blame them
yeah,
several times
yeah,
there.
yes. Mr. said
Because
blame them because
that part of the constitution we then use, it's clear that two-thirds majority of members of parliament, not to members present in
no,
the well
Mr.
of
Jalloh,
parliament.
if
The
somebody is
balance
sitting
they
now,
will be there for commodity.
yes, if person they explain to you, oh, now he talk say in law can talk English na yeah. Members of in parliament of members of parliament. It just dey talk all and talk and for me justifying action the way one take. Anyway, I hope say then learn from the past and, and moving forward. Say then guy I wanna want hold them to accountability to account. Now this way wanna for
Now
hold
this
them.
way, and like when they don't start and so, then for make sure say they not soft talk them. They call them go come, hey, we go give una this. If una not do so, una go lost this benefit. If the APC is ready, the people of Sierra Leone will come behind them. If now $1 they get every month, they will live
Yeah.
until we put Sierra Leone on the correct footpath.
The other point where I be one give, so I know that you talk about salon population about 8 million.
We're not
So
reachable.
you know enough. I know. I want to talk, Mr. Jallo. The trend of population in Africa, West Africa, for don't pass safe.
You sure?
Yes. Because low talk of in 1980 population.
How much not be the population in
We been there
1980?
2 million something.
Now we'll be past that too.
Yes, 1980 for
We'll be
84.
there about 4 something.
No. Four na 19. Let me say that. Four na the go 4.9 na 2004 census. I know linking there. So that just give Gambia be the 500,000 people.
You see,
Now
our
Gambia don't pass
population 1980, they be estimated as 3.2.
estimate. Not I mean the census, right? So okay, if I been 3.2, all the population right now they don't quadruple. All the population in West Africa. Ghana be then 12 million. Now Ghana don't then 40 million. All the population them they don't quadruple. Nigeria been the
Until they produce speaking like a rat.
yes. So that population if we get now make them count before they count NCRA. Because NCRA data never manipulated not biometric data.
But
But government
that NCRA don't take almost decades before they.
no now because
The second head of NCRA, you know him?
no.
I'm your uncle. Malik Jalloh Jamboria, who been the Talton then. He was the second head of NCRA. That time they call a National Registration Office. And at the same building it is.
The way we talk about NCRA now. Now the way we count we if we capture biometric features.
Yes, now improvement in the technology, but the law will be constitute that institution, National Registration Office, will be the give ID cards. Now they tell you but now the same process, but now it's going to be technological. And as far as me concerned, if the funds are there for these things to be put in place, within 18 months, NCRA for become so efficient that then for connect every bat and death office, then for connect
Jalloh,
every border point entry into the country.
that is why they came with it. But now because the neighbor manipulate these figures, now they only put even Master Lassemba, the organization, don't talk say 2020, 20 something that midterm we don't want to do. You see, why would I not spend this money in my NCRA?
If you have that efficient system, you don't need a census.
You don't need it. They try for
I
tell
have
them,
been
say,
in Norway for 22 years. There has never been a census in this country
why
because
don't get
every
census?
birth and death is connected to a database. Everybody who they enter a border point, you they pass through you as you enter, so you are registered on the database,
Let
and
me
then
tell
get
you
a
now.
system where if even you get for be citizen of the country, your social security number has a code that indicates that you are an immigrant or you were born in this country.
We say no the Belgium, no they make us immigrant. The only thing they do.
Then get a
When we
code where then
when
pass
we
you
come,
know. You will like me
when,
will work in a public office and no say there is a code embedded in that social security number. It will start with your date of birth. Then the two figures where they come after, now they show whether you were born here or you migrated. Then after that, then get other codes so they follow where they show the region where you stay, etc. etc.
we
Now
now
11 figure social
we now
security number will get
we
you.
in Belgium, the people are always born the same day.
Okay.
Then they number them. For instance, when you born 1st of January 2000.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then they reverse them 1st of January 2000. Then put 001 we born that day with the register.
Okay. We are the
So if
full
you
date of birth. You month, you day, plus the year.
now the time for say now, they reverse your date of birth.
Mm-hmm.
If you born 75, they say 7506
We don't know
June.
reverse
So,
some more. In the
no,
car,
it's
it
now.
is so.
So we they reverse them, then put 001. If now 50 people are born that day,
Now
they
up to
write
50.
up to 50. So
After that, now the number they change.
if you say Canada, the one if you're a visitor or you're a post we can't seek asylum,
Mm-hmm.
we shall them tap that date of birth, tap that date of birth.
Now then they continue with
Then
you.
they continue.
But then
So
get a code where they instigate, where they indicate say you come after.
yes, then put on the so NCRA go then call an salon the national number. They say NN. If they take the national number, me was don't I don't come up Belgium for 10 years now. My numbers are my national numbers are
And you know they change you because they know
you know
they
the
give
change.
nobody. Now you get
Any
until you die.
any service what I call, not on the now they call.
Yes. As you call out, then they go now the database. They identify.
And we get
you.
them na salon, they don't good and they or Mr. Jalloh because
Say
they
they
know
want
even
go
money.
with Ande, but they're not
No, they don't.
agree.
No, they don't go with and they don't go with and they.
You just say
They
now
did.
also no man get her.
No. Now I had to for tell you there is no emphasis on the NCRA data because if they put them there, if they put emphasis there, then they're not going to manipulate for census now, for boundary
Not only the
limitation.
census, not only the census. If the NCRA is efficient, all this nonsense so then they do so about forming districts, etc., they're not able to.
Now these are the say they never manipulate any figure, any data. Because look what you tell we, Mr. Jalloh. Then talk say maternal mortality and child mortality don't they reduce so rapidly.
All than the NCRA they tell you.
Yes, wait now I can tell you now. NCRA, we didn't put the numbers them last year. Now I calculate them, Mr. Jalloh. Why I calculate them? The number they will come out is 3 or 4 times more than what they report.
Exactly, because that one is closest.
Yes. So because NCRA you cannot manipulate. So now the government don't get interest in NCRA data. They don't get
Say the one the way we think say na government.
There's nothing they do now.
Nothing they do, but not your government.
That's not, there are some things you cannot change. Because,
Yeah, but we don't have to call them names that do not apply to them.
no,
A government is not a name, it's an institution. And a government, a structured institution, we're not a political party. Don't get that clear. The government is above the political party. And the government is a permanent institution. We don't have it in Sierra Leone, Bafode.
yeah, no, which I deserve for say to we own level and to we own standard. Julius Matter Bio, anyhow, Kone being declared him as president. They see now in the head government. Now that will know.
Well, they had an institution, whether a government will not know. Now try for be clear. The man they had a cartel and a cabal.
They had an institution.
Yes.
You can call a government and all that.
Because
So,
government, as we know them, they behave the other guys share they behave.
Yeah. Which have been drive for say is that the population of African countries don't quadruple from the 1980s.
I not deny that. I know.
So therefore, if Saloon, because look, see how the make sense was not Saloon. Even if the make sense, it will be correct.
But you know the other thing when I'm on point.
No, sir.
Except if they want to tell us they have found a way to count some of us out here where not they Sierra Leone. Otherwise, I not believe say the people that were there inside Sierra Leone they reach 8 million. Maybe the Sierra Leonean population is about 8 million.
Them pass.
All right. I'm not going to argue that because we not get the figure. I'm not going to argue.
Yes.
I'm going to accept
we can tell at the time for talk say the way the consensus now we will get population census figure. They're not going to plenty villages are not good. Then they go ask them that beyond that point, how many house the village and did it? That was the talk. Then talk say, oh now, okay, when you go back in another house. Okay, if the person he didn't have free turn now, then they contact back now the house where he come out. So there are lazy people and they go conduct census.
Well, so then they count people and 2 times.
Yes. They count people and 2 times and other people they count them.
Well, so we're not correct.
So the census figure is completely wrong.
If NCRA they operate, it's simple. All you need for get now a village, get maybe the town chief or whoever they in charge of health, give them a mobile phone, with them born picking, you get the app on the phone, then send the picking in data, say born so hour so thing. If they not give a name self, let them register them that day until they get a number in the database. When the picking don't register, what they say, they don't give the pull the picking a door. Then you go to the database, then find that number, then insert the name.
That's as I don't say.
When person die, you do the same thing. Then you automatically take count of the people without much stress.
Now I make a give a reference of last year. Last year, NHRA can't tell me the registered deaths and births, the one that we die, we born, the begin that we die, we them born, the machine at 3,000 begin and die, we them born and die. So the mommy they put all those figures. So therefore, me able do my calculations on the figures they wouldn't give me. Then I tell the Mike and State House say that thing like she don't talk, say we don't reduce and to this and lie. Because NCRA don't can give me. No, not at this time. The public debate for continue, Mr. Jalloh.
People like Mike Bear, I don't talk with them because I'll be wasting my time.
No, the thing is that
guy does not even know what he has within his own system. We call it body.
If you left them so, then they continue for misinform people.
Well, I make with them at the public forum, yeah.
So, who say they put the figure, that population? Now, this some of us they go, we put the comment the way we get for put. Now they
Okay.
debate can day.
Okay.
Because if you left us so no more, now so people they take up say what did this man they talk, now gospel truth. You see what happen. Thomas Dixon go talk say $800 million then don't spend by agriculture or food security or
I
an
see that
program.
in there. I see him.
But better why to take you go talk say na line you say the way work out. Now they don't put them back say they say that audit query na out them. Even Tamabobo don't post them. How how you go want twist figure the fact?
Another thing I want to recognize.
Mm.
The people that will not get now, they run Sierra Leone. Them best instrument na lies.
Yeah, we know that. I don't going to never give them Jalloh.
Them best
We know that.
instrument na lies.
We know that. We know if somebody he talk a lot of things them if 2 days inside in there, but we want to take them because we know the facts, we know the issues. We know the issues. Then we turn things around, say, oh, now because this happened. We know. We start alone, not just the follow the trail, like where people in the follow the big
We
news.
don't pass it. We don't pass it.
Uh-huh. We
And I
let me
want
see
to show
what
you, say, even people that within the so-called SLPP, they don't understand the truth now. Plenty.
no,
They
the
may
thing
not
about
be
this is that
saying it, but they themselves are getting fed up with the
let me tell
nonsense
you
where
about
they go.
let me tell you about the political party them back. Now like a cult.
I know.
Jalloh,
Before
they,
I
they were I
know.
can believe. They were if then think they know the president can talk. We don't come. We don't make say. We don't create jobs. We don't do this. They believe in that. Like say now, I don't know how they call that
Well,
come this.
the other thing is, we'll get for recognize those in Sierra Leone may not believe it because they are suffering. The biggest problem with Sierra Leone get right now we Sierra Leoneans in the diaspora. Now
Of
I make way
course,
some man can begin talking, not I can tell her.
no.
I want to work in care for reply. We begin talk the praise. I say, my friend, you are in the diaspora praising that everything is bright and beautiful. Pack your bundles and go home. You not get no
Yeah,
business for there.
I think in the I think at Liberty Bar somebody post a comment. We talk about that same thing. Say we want to come back to this country. We want to fix light and healthcare. Now, one of the SLPP supporters in talk say, because you're not serious, you know, one go, if you want, we can go now. I say, see, instead of you address the issue where the person talk, say,
Anyway, they talk so they not
they go no
salon.
side. They go there. If somebody talk about, say, plenty diaspora and they want go to salon, if we fix the healthcare system, number one, people in they go.
Maybe if
But
they
how they go
fix the
and,
healthcare system, we'll get efficient communication as they go.
particularly the healthcare
I
system,
don't
now they
need
say,
the electricity and the water supply. We
I
shall
know
they
say,
go see them they generate me on
now make the talk
electricity.
say, if they fix the healthcare system in the salon,
Now then two things then they no more. Communication,
people,
healthcare. Fix them.
people in the go back because most in a country where they go test you, there's malaria and typhoid more than they see. They know this, that sickness.
Fix the
Then
healthcare.
they have my nephew, Lido, some kind of sickness we should be free now. The man just come back and tell us the typhoid. Now someone do not tell me that what they again.
Well,
All that
typhoid
situation.
is widespread in urban areas actually, but not in the rural areas.
No, Mr. Jaro, why are they dispute that kind of things that? I not talk say typhoid no the malaria no the. But no go tell me say you machine that then think they didn't know what they see.
Well, Bafode.
yeah.
One thing we know about Sierra Leone, we don't reach the lowest point where another stress myself over then thing the other can talk. Rationally, there is high incidence of typhoid fever, especially
Yes.
in the Freetown area,
I could not go
because
deny
there
that
is a
day.
lot of underground pollution.
Yes, I know that day. I did try for
But
say, Mr.
what thing
Jallo.
are they say?
Mm.
The other side of it is go to the hospitals, especially public hospitals, see the kind of equipment where they do. Then you don't have to blame these people for making all these summary statements.
Mr. Jalloh, I know see we get Naya, we didn't care me go now hospital because every 6 months I dey go for test.
Mhm.
Me own blood test, they will see me sugar level,
Exactly.
they will see
Infection, every other
cholesterol.
things.
No, like me, the one that I care about,
Mhm.
cholesterol in the serum. Like me, I've been get iron problem for my blood. They tell me every month, every 6 months. You know, it is sitting in the every. But they don't go tell me almost say that machine with a hole for test. Eh?
Do they even have a
Eh.
machine? Not the first thing. They sit down there, they assume say that machine. Do they have a machine?
And, how do
You
they test
know,
person
machine
now?
side and they do the test with the machine. Do they have a
No,
machine at Connaught Hospital?
then
Do
they
they have
test
a
people.
machine in those public hospitals?
Anybody will go now hospital. Me, even
That
mama.
stethoscope, not a machine. Oh.
I know. I say, even mama,
Mhm.
any day we don't care. I say this is not correct. You know, go tell me see somebody we can last week, we can't do back them, we can't do test them. I don't get a record of that person.
Well, the other point is that day they could do it. You know why?
Yeah.
Like Norway, anytime we go in a hospital, whether you go for regular test or you go complain about anything, one of part of the procedure is when the doctor don't talk to you, they ask you to get for ask you, put everything on the database. Because then they do them as soon as they talk, then they typeset everything where they tell them on the database. The next thing is you they go now the lab. Even to the smallest clinics, then get lab. Then they go take blood, where then they do test on. You understand? Now,
Mm-hmm.
based on the blood test, now in the doctor they come back to you maybe 2 weeks later or even a month later. Maybe at times not even the doctor they come back to you. You they get letter no more, you they get SMS from another specialized institution in the medical system say we don't give appointment for cancer so date for can do test for your heart or test for your bladder or something like that. Because then they get the report from your blood test. And you get access for go online and see them from your own database. You they use your social security number and national passcode. You dey enter into your health database, you see everything about you. Nobody else know they see them. The only person wey dey see them na you, the doctors, and the medical personnel. You understand? These are not rocket science. If we're ready for do an asalo, we're able to.
Anyway, today you know
Now,
say the
just the
time.
fact that we get people yonder where them feel say they're not the cousin of God, what in them say nine for B. Even now they live your life, if we not take them, then we soon get for begin tell people they almost them for the day, then for breathe.
Anyway, as I say, today I can't quick because another me prayer. I hate to go. We be
Okay,
one.
Papa,
I
we
mean I
don't, we
can't quick.
don't keep
I say,
pumping small today.
yeah, I
Thank
can't
you,
quick.
thank
So
you.
I can do prayer now. Okay, Mr. Jalloh.
Okay, sir. So we talk tomorrow.
Later, sir. All right.
Yes, Fambulem. Thank you, thank you. I think we don't do what you get for do today. I see some comments and I see Zima, they say, I have great reservations about private individuals owning public utility. Well, it depends on what you mean by public utility. Power supply may not be a public utility, sir. It depends on the ethical standards in the society. Public utilities, now schools, hospitals. I would not have a nation privatize education as we have done in Sierra Leone when one of the things we keep way back. I would not have a nation privatize the health system. But when it comes on power supply or things will involve heavy capital outlay, telecoms, power supply, the best we can do is we can get public limited liability companies for running things than they. That's why, of course, it is necessary for us to have a financial market in Sierra Leone. And that's going to only function when the politicians behave themselves. Because if they continue to behave recklessly, those financial markets will never rise. Financial markets are run on trust. People will be ready for buy treasury bonds, then go be ready for buy stocks, and then they for invest. Even in the mining sector, we are not getting much from our minerals because we don't have a financial market where they allow people then for investing to the mining companies. If you get a law which say any company they can mine in Sierra Leone, then for give up to 50% shares to the people of Sierra Leone, let them invest, I think say that will change the dynamics. And that will work only if we have a well-structured financial market. Everybody can buy shares, then take that money, then invest into the mining on behalf of the people of Sierra Leone as a public corporation. But again, we've seen public corporations fail in Sierra Leone because the mentality is when you employ people in public institutions, it's their right to misbehave and steal public money. It's our turn to eat. That's the mentality. But all the same, we can go step by step. Norway is a social democratic state. Electricity generation is done by private individuals. The distribution is done by a public corporation, and everybody gets paid for what they put into the network. That's how it operates here. Sankara, good night, sir. Mr. Toure, Ibrahim Toure, I don't know that the access so you blocked me. I didn't block anyone. If you were trying to call, you can't through. It's unfortunate. I don't know, at times my phone can behave that way. I don't block nobody. Hello?
Yes, Mr. Jalloh. Well, I don't done.
Almost they done, sir. I they go sleep now. I they give 5 minutes.
God, I know. Well, I don't go and Google again.
Okay, well, Friday. Come on, Friday.
Friday now, what time?
At the same time. It's all the same time. I know they change the time.
Around 4 p.m.
Yes, by your time, I start at 4:15.
4:15.
Yes,
okay.
Eastern Standard Time, 4:15.
Oh, well, definitely Friday I will join up.
Okay, sir.
I don't see the thing with.
Okay.
All right, thank you so much.
Right, you must listen to a melon and scatter and bolede read the nonsense while they talk. Mr. George Stone. Yes, we know say na banana republic, but let's try change them. We all get a responsibility. Some of you know the way to get let them banana eat, then they change. But they tell them how for change. Seal, thank you for coming. Alaji Sise, thank you for coming, sir, and you are gonna help shape this channel. Let go far and wide. The best way to change Sierra Leone is what we are doing. Let the people know what they need to know. Then they have a right, then get the right for take a decision. And with information, they will be in a better position to take good decisions. Una thank you. We go meet on Friday the same time.
What happens when truth becomes a tool, not a right? In Sierra Leone, confusion isn't just chaos. It's strategy. When leaders deny what you live, gaslight your reality, and rewrite the past, who really holds the power? Tonight on Truth Unmasked, we expose the tactics, we name the games, we decode the lies. Don't just believe what they tell you. Ask why they want you to believe it.
Oh no, who go speak for the voiceless? Oh yeah. The system they broken is lawless. Then they use the power for oppress. Mama cry for the picky where them put to rest. These streets they red like the sunset. Oh yeah. Bodies that fall, but we not forget. The women them cry, them pain at the silence. Who go fight for justice in this violence? Leaders what the love for the nation. Why you not they bring with tribulation? Them they kill with dreams with oppression. Sierra Leone, we need salvation.